Okay, so today I'm teaching you how to layer and animate stuff within Construct 3, how to have diverse attacks within enemies, how to do transitions between different movements. I'm going through all of that with my 3 years of coding experience. It should be good fun, let's get into it. A preset of files here. You don't have to use this, or I just have a backlog of print of all the stuff I've got. So once you've got your first animation exported, which I have here, just a 12 frame animation with your other animations. So for example, I've got this jetpack one here. You want to know how to use this. You go to animations, you go add animation. You first one, you got default. This is my default one. This is going to be soon added to my death animation. So animation 1 is the flying away animation. Maybe my character wants to go to another destination or goes to the next level. That can be set for that. We're going to start off basic and just keep these 2 ones. Don't want to make it too complicated. Preferably, because it's good practice, you would want to rename this. I'm going to name it death. You name this one. I'm going to put flying, just because that's what it's doing. So after a little bit of an update, I've added all my animations. They're not perfect. Some of them are misaligned, but we have the 6 animations. I did a bit of an update. So yeah, I've done some basic character movement and jumping. As you see, I've not exported the animations yet, or like tried doing them, but we're going to do them on the event sheet right now. For me, this is all preference. Personally, I like to use the mouse a lot for this one. So I'll add an event, add mouse, I'll put like on click. So for me, I'm just going to do left button clicks for now. So I'm just going to do the attack animation because I want to show you in different orders. So you'll go to set animation, and then the animation, I've named my animation here, which is attack. So I just named it attack. So so just attack. So I'm going to copy and paste this into on left button clicked on the character, which I've called animation. Put set animation to that, play from the beginning, done. So we've got that, and as the player spawned, I can play my attack animation. It's got this like goofy smile to it. But yeah, you've got that. So this is the first one that's really creepy. I don't know how I feel about that. And because we don't want the player to be stuck on that, because that is absolutely mortifying, we've got A and down, A and D, which is left and right on the platform, moving. We'll go to animation, set animation, and then go to the walking animation that we set, which we'll go and find out now, which is just walking. Easy enough. Double click. I think it's right click. It'd be like go to rename, go to that, and then boom, boom, a boom, a boom. There we go, walking. So we're gonna have to mirror this as well. So we'll do it the same thing, same for A and D, same thing with the animation, set it to walking, done. So as you have added the A and the D being down, with the animation being set to walking, and doing the mirrored and not mirrored, I can show you how to do this. It's pretty simple. You just click on the player. If you do mirrored, you have the appearance option to set to mirrored and not mirrored. So for the left and right movements, to change the movement of the character so it moves properly left and right, you don't need as much of these animations as that. Okay. Now let's have a look at what it looks like in-game. There we go. You see how the mirrored animation of the walking works and how it's connected. All we need to add now is when I stop moving and the velocity is at a certain point, we just go back to its default settings. So then the attack animation can get used properly without having to move about like this. So let's sort that now. Okay, in here, I have an idle animation to set for when the player's not moving. We are going to repeat this line of code, repeat after me, go to animation, which is your default character, your main character, and go to platform, because you've got all these options here. if you go down, go on the animation triggers, go on stopped, go to the animation, go to set animation. So whatever you want your idle or your still animation to be, which mine is just idle. Set it to that. Now that's done, if you go into your game engine, when you move, it will work when you press the A and the D buttons for the other animations, which are set to mirrored and not mirrored. You'll have this really nice, neat moving effect. When you stop, your character should do an idle animation. So once you've done this, it will set to your idle animation. Pretty cool. I love it. Then we're going to move on to the jumping and the attacking, and then we'll get into that. So, the main chunky bit of code for this is you have the inverted controls, and you have all of this. I will go through this now. So the A being down, you go to keyboard, key is down, A is down. You go to set mirrored, which it's down here if you search up the word mirrored, set mirrored. This is because we are still using the keys being down in the A and D from being inverted and not being inverted. So we are then going to make it so the platform excels to 500, so the player has the really nice exaggerated movement. We're going to obviously keep it as the platform going left, because the left and right movements, A and D being the certain movements, the simulating the platform, press and jump, and the roll animation. So, this is where it gets tricky, because now you have your inverted controls. So, keyboard, A is down as usual, and the space being down, we right click on here, go invert. So you see how I turn on and off, you have that. And I've set the animation to walking, which as you remember, was this one, the walking animation here. So, I've added that, and simulating platform pressing left, which we did here, because of the left and right movements of the A being down, but the space is not being pressed, but this is when A is being pressed without the space bar being pressed, which adds it to going to the default walking animation, making it so we don't jump and roll at the same time, which adds to some cluster fucking bugs that we don't want to deal with. So, going to the same thing as D, so not, but instead, we set this being mirrored to not mirrored, and you've got to set the animation to the roll, you got the platform press and jump, and you got the platform acceleration being all the same, just press and jump, but this one is, instead of being left, it's right. So with this one, it's still the inverted controls here, setting it to the walking and the acceleration, just changing the not mirrored to it being right. So yeah, that's how I've got that to work, and get the animation, which is set to jumping, animation, setting it to the roll, so when it's on the jumping, or when it's activated to jumping, it will roll. I'll show you again how it's displayed. Left and right, jumping up, roll, nice. Jump up, hold, roll. If not held and just pressed, it's a normal jump, but if held, it's a nice roll. Luckily, this is a break from all the harder ones. This is all pretty simple. So it's just the enemies animation. So you've got just the idle. You should have an animation set for this, but I don't have one made. And you've got the death animation for this. So you've got two separate animations for the enemy. All you've got to do is do left click, clicked on enemy, and then it's animation to death. I wouldn't suggest having the hitbox I have, since I have it like this, but you can have a certain hitbox on your enemy if you make one, where if you click on it, like this, that I have made here, on this hitbox, when the left click is clicked on this blue area of a hitbox, it attacks the player. So anything that's clicked around here doesn't work, but if you click on the enemy, right there, I need to adjust mine, it will kill the enemy. And that blue hitbox that you have, I'm just going to adjust it so it's a bit more at the head, so it's just easier to hit the player. So, as you go on here,
kills the player. The way I have my player to work for this is pretty much on the left button clicked, I've set the animation to shoot in. So this animation shooting, I've given myself 2 ones here. I've got an attack and I've got a shooting. I'm using the shooting one. The flying one I have not used, but can be applied. Let me know in future videos if you'd want me to do that. This is my basic movement guide for how I would do things. Beginner to advanced, this is just how I would do it. Just let me know if you enjoyed it and you want to see more videos like this. I'm happy to make more. See you for next time.
The reason why I want to teach these movements and mechanics is because it's really helpful and really good for your game design career, and how to go up into it. And Construct is a really good app. So for all you people that are using it right now, who are in like year 1 of college or year 2 of college, you know, I can show. And it will feel super rewarding with all the artwork you've done to be able to make the animations work and look good. So there's some quite complicated and tricky processes to it, but when you get the hang of it, it's quite easy, it's quite nice. Or just like, subscribe, comment, just tell me what you'd want to add next. Just any comment would be really helpful. Just any tutorials or like videos, just let me know.